Welcome to New Sports, you guys, because you know what? If it's not about the Lakers in Southern California or the Southwest United States, it's about something else. And you know, Mario, no matter how much I may bring out the broom about the Lakers sweep, it may not be a sweep for the Boston Celtics, but it seems like to be a brushing. You know,
well,
brushed
you know
aside a little bit, just so you know. I know.
You got to start with the two-headed Vic.
I have to go right away.
The two-headed Vic and the basketball, round ball. That's right. That's the Matrix Vic.
I know.
So you got the two-headed Vic, and then you have the Matrix Vic. That's the Matrix Vic, the one on the side thing. That's the Matrix. And the other one is the two-headed Vic.
I need clothes. I need some black clothes, man. You know, I need some clothes to kind of pull off the look, you know. But anyway, I like that. That was pretty good. Hey, you guys, sometimes people ask me, you know, in that shot were you totally naked? I said, yes. I was sitting on a cold chair, real cold.
That's what keeps the voice going. I understand. It's all the secrets. He's giving you the inside.
That's right.
Everybody don't know the secrets.
That's right.
What it takes.
Cold chair.
To get a good performance sometimes.
Staring in a mirror. Okay. All right, you guys. Welcome again to New Sports. And, you know, like I said, I can talk about it all day long. But, you know, the Lakers got swept. We know that. But now it turns over to the last aging legacy team. See, I knew he can't wait for the sound effects on that. He can't wait. But we have to talk about the Boston Celtics because they're last of the, I call it the trio of old legacy fundamental basketball championship legacy teams, whatever that means. San Antonio gone, Lakers gone. Celtics they're one game away. So here, you know, Mario, I know this is happening in Celtic land. Now, if it goes by anything that you're used to as far as the Boston Celtics fans, the ones you describe as being a certain type of fan or people, what are they saying, would you say, about the Boston Celtics being 3-1 down to the Heat?
No, I think that the handwriting is sort of on the wall. I think everybody knows it. We appreciate the true warrior ability, the true warrior mentality of the Boston Celtics, but there's no question they're up against a better team. So that doesn't mean you can't beat them on a given night, but what has to happen, you have to have a bunch of variables line up, right, to have the underdog defeat. For David to defeat Goliath, a bunch of things have to line up. So it means that Miami has to somehow either underperform and the Celtics have to rise to a certain level, which we know they can do.
Right.
The question is how long can they do it and how much can they sustain? And so, but there's no question who has the better team in terms of physical ability. It's just clear.
Well, now
that doesn't mean that you can't beat them, though. That doesn't mean, and that's why they've got the one game.
Well, you know what? The one thing I like about your answer is that you hit the nail on the head as it relates to coveting how you would report sports from a very objective way. Now, you're a Boston fan. I don't think they would talk like that about what's happening with those Celtics fans.
I think they said they all are going, oh.
Wait a minute. I think you're being kind.
Now, I mean, and now here's the thing. But it depends how loyal they are. Some people take that and then still rally behind them. I'm not sure that means See, in other words, I think everybody's seeing the same thing, Vic. The question is, how do you respond to that? Does that mean I get rid of the bums? I don't think that's really what's happening. Is that what's?
What I'm saying is that, like any other fans, I think they are as passionate as the Lakers fans and as reactive the same way. Because I think what they start to do is this. We all see the obvious writing on the wall with talent, youth against age. We see that. There's nothing new. It's plain as day. But I still think they do like what we have done, or many have done, with teams that folded. San Antonio went through it. Lakers went through it. I'm just saying, well, hold on. Okay. I'm just saying that they're going to go where to lay the priority or the blame. And I'm going to say this for a reason. Because at some point, no matter what you say or do, everybody is in agreement to one thing that may have not made a difference. Are we saying that Perkins would have made no difference remaining on the Boston Celtics because of the age of the team or the synergy of the team because he brought a certain attitude? So before I even get to Perkins, I said, well, let's just look at the whole landscape. Where will we lay the blame? Because I believe there was a breakup of what I call synergy on the Boston Celtics. Maybe it's just age. What do you think?
No. I actually think that they performed reasonably well against the team that they're playing. You see what I'm saying?
Reasonably.
In other words, you're playing against a team that is possibly the championship.
Right.
That means when you bring the ball down on offense, you're coming up against a significant defense.
Yes, sir.
When you come back on defense, you're going back against one of the best offensive forces in the NBA, debatedly.
Right.
So I have to look at the whole thing in that context.
Right.
So to me, that's what I said. Boston has been able to pull out things. You see what I'm saying? Like the way they started off with Pierce in the beginning of the game, getting those points, okay? So it's just a matter of them sustaining. And I think, I'm looking at the monitor, by the way, Vic. I did a quick monitor, you all, where I go, we typed this in using Monitor, MONITTER.com. You guys can use it. Go there, type in Boston Celtics. Most of the stuff, I don't see a lot of anti-Celtic sentiment. Maybe it's there, Vic. I think that they've played valiantly against a better team, and they're losing. I think, for the most part, people see it as that. I think it also is obvious. Most of the people saying this stuff, the end of an era. That's what they keep saying.
Right.
See, everybody's saying that. But I think but I don't know if they take that as being a thing to go boom, bust.
Right.
I think they still kind of celebrate this team, Vic.
Right.
I think that's I think the predominant sentiment of the Boston fans is they see the handwriting on the wall, but they support this team.
I'm not going to say that they don't support the team. I'm going to say that somewhere along the way, somebody had to make the decision of what they call obvious things in front of you. That every year, no matter how much we love Shaq, no matter how much you love him, less and less games, no matter what you say, and to make people survive through age, through the sensitivity of injuries that's come upon them. I automatically look at that and say, well, so Shaq was a better gamble than Perkins when Perkins brought something that remained on the floor. Now, I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just saying that across the board, if you had to turn around and say, what's the best team to put on the floor?
Now, remember now, that wasn't a coaching decision. That was an organization decision.
That's why I'm saying, okay, let me do this for everybody. I actually put some choices.
Like you said, they didn't pay. It was only about money.
It's always about money. You say it all the time. You say, decisions are made from financial positions.
But I don't think it would have made a difference in this series, Vic. It might have made a difference in how many games. They might have got an extra game, okay?
Right.
But no, Vic, the handwriting is on the wall like the handwriting was with the Lakers. Right. There are those signs. So my thing is, I liked what they did. The Celtics did. I just thought they were up against a better team.
I looked at
That's
it this
the way I take it.
I looked at it this way. I'm going to give you my choices that I listed here, and it's not reserved or resigned just for these choices. I said where to lay what they call initial blame, and it starts way back with the ownership. And I put Boston ownership, Danny Ainge being one who I'm pretty sure they listened to for input, the Perkins trade, which involved Danny Ainge, Shaquille O'Neal's injury, Rondo's inconsistency, and frontline old age. I still say this, and I said, if you're left with Kevin Garnett, Jermaine O'Neal, and Shaquille O'Neal as your frontline intimidators, which is really the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics, what they do down there when they say you can't get past us, and remove that now, it's gone. I said, so what are you replacing that with? I'm just saying strategically.
See, what happens is, Vic, again, ideally, because we're talking about the various elements needed to be championed. And no matter what, I always preface it, because this is the way I look at it. There's only going to be one champion, right? So that means the other 3 or 4 teams that are right around that level of play are always going to have this kind of discussion.
Always.
But remember still, and this is why we reminded even you about the Lakers. I said the Lakers, as they are, is still a playoff team.
They said 55
I'll
games.
I'll say that about the Celtics, too.
Right.
They still are going to be a playoff team. Okay, now let's go back to where to lay the blame this year. I think the ownership only as it relates to the Perkins trade, and I think that all these things are factors, but to tell you the truth, if Perkins was there right now and Shaquille was healthy and Rondo was not inconsistent and was even doing, because I think Rondo's doing reasonable, I still think that based on what I'm seeing, they would lose to the Miami Heat. That's what I'm saying. I think the outcome is still. So in other words, I'm not so willing to lay blame only because I think that the effects are so throughout the team of the age factors, Vic.
Right.
I just think that sometimes we want to. If they wanted to lay blame, they probably could do it with the ownership. I just don't think that there's any reason to lay blame. I think they did a pretty good job for the old dudes that they got. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And I'm just willing to take it like that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Now, and had they kept Perkins, even though I still think they should have paid Perkins, it would have made a better run and easier on certain people. But Vic, based on what I'm seeing, the Heat is too okay. Even if the Boston elevated, the Heat is still another level above that.
Right.
What can I? There's nothing else I can say. So it doesn't make, to me, it won't make any difference.
Well, you
are still going to lose.
And here's the part I agree with you. No one's actually looked at the team with the as it relates to the Celtics in the latter part of the season and said they're going to position for what they call a championship run. They all said all these things have to come together.
None of us picked them as number one, right?
No, none of us did. And what they said, given the best conditions and everything coming together, they would win. Everybody knew that. What they were still saying is where do you best position where you have the advantage? And to me, what they had Miami doing when they played them is keeping them outside. And when you keep them outside, you turn them into what they call an outside three-point shooting team. I think smelling blood when you go Perkins is not in there no more. Shaq is not on the floor. I said, so who's going to be the intimidator from this team? We have freeway going in. Now, I'm not saying they would have won the series.
You know what?
The flavor of the game changed.
No, yeah, it does. But here's the thing. The Miami Heat has shown an incredible ability to adjust with the different combinations. When they run the small team with LeBron.
Right.
See, okay, so my point being that no matter what you do, they have the best ability to adjust to me.
Right.
Of all the teams right now, to me, to a certain extent. They have the best ability to adjust their attack.
Right.
So that gives them a certain flexibility to effortlessly almost by just changing some of the lineup.
Right.
So now you can't account for that. So, Vic, this is what I'll say, because this is to me the most important thing. In the beginning of the season, I only had a certain level of expectations for the Boston Celtics. They have exceeded that. They have exceeded what my expectations were. Okay, we talked about it at the beginning of the year.
Right.
But they sort of did what we said they were going to do. But we talked about who was going to be here at the end.
I think the part that I definitely didn't give them I didn't give them the pass on this because I think they made two decisions and they really didn't see themselves not having Shaq or Perkins. That right there.
But you didn't expect them to get this far anyway.
I expected them to have.
You expected them to go out in the previous round.
Right. I expected them. I had already resigned myself to basically, when they seen you in the second half, after the All-Star game, they said that's when teams start gearing up to get used to the synergy of how they play. And I said the problem you guys got right now is that you have to point towards a different style of game because now you can't really run. You try to. The age thing hits in because you can only run in certain games. You can't do it. It's like them going triple overtime.
I agree, but
they can't go into overtime games without paying the price.
They can't. They don't have it.
Right.
But I'm saying still, in the beginning of the year, you didn't. When we discussed this, you didn't. Okay, you already for these same reasons, right?
I said conference finals. They will be in there with Miami playing the conference finals.
So they did sort of what we expected, and to me, they actually still look and playing better than I expected right now.
Right.
Even in losing, Vic,
right.
They showed as much as I have my criticism.